Good evening, boys and girls. And you know what that means, right?
I'm not all right.
It's a tea time for our Philadelphia Flyers here. And I don't know about you, Wood, but I am fucking furious.
I disagree with Kenny Loggins. I'm not all right at all.
He's Brian, I'm Doug. We're coming to you live from the Freshwood Studios.
Beautiful.
Rough night. A little bit of a rough night. So this show's gonna be.
It's gonna be a fucking rage fest.
I don't know.
Rage fest. Say it now. It's gonna be a rage fest. And
Rage
what we're gonna
fest?
do is we're gonna go over every little fucking
Rave fest?
idiosyncrasy. Well, rave fest just got you a boner that went through this bar.
And you should, yeah. Whew.
Almost knocked my eye out, but
Let me adjust my
I'm more
pants.
interested in rage, to be honest with you. And guess what? We got plenty of it. So we'll hit the ground running. Now, normally we have pseudo plans. We couldn't have less plans for this podcast, except for
Absolutely not.
some rage fest.
My total apologies to our 17 listeners, by the way.
22 on the latest YouTube video.
Oh, really?
5 subscribers on YouTube, 10 total followers on Twitter, of which half are legit. Actually, more than half. I think 6 or 7 are legit. 3 are our friends. So,
Well, I thank all 10 of you. Thank you from
Absolutely.
the bottom of my heart.
absolutely,
Hopefully we'll have 11 by next week.
I totally agree.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. Genuinely apologize. Last week we did not have a show. I was feeling very under the weather.
Yes, sir.
And could not go more than about 4 or 5 minutes without coughing up my lung. I'm much better now.
Yummy.
So that should be a soundbite, by the way.
Yes,
Yummy.
we do have a couple Ace Ventura sound bites, or just Jim Carrey in general.
Oh, yeah, the bitch.
Right. So, well, Jim Carrey isn't really a bitch, but yes, you were under the weather, and you know what's good about this? We were 2 weeks in.
Yep.
3rd week, you're under the weather, MIA, and
Yep.
guess what? I heard from 3 of my buddies that said, "Dude, where the fuck? Where's it at?" You know, so
Good.
that's good. And
Good.
what I will ask is that we can just get a anybody out there that listens to this once. I'm going to do it on Facebook. If you could just share it on Facebook once or on Twitter, retweet or whatever the fuck because we're totally Twitter virgins here. Just shoot it out there once. We'd appreciate it. Giddy up.
And what are our handles again?
Our handles are Huffies, I think.
Toffee Huff.
That's why I said a freestyle bike. It would be Unanswered PTS on Twitter. Facebook, you know what? Hold off on that because there was a Facebook own website there, but I fucked up. I think we need to do like it's like a friend. It's like a person the way I set it up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to set it up as a likable page, not as a request a friendship page. So we actually have about 10 people who are on board with that too.
Yeah,
So
I logged on and approved them all, actually.
yeah. Oh, you did. Giddy up. And
Giddy up.
What we're going to do is reroute that. And Gmail is unansweredpts at gmail.com. So
Oh, I don't see why we can't just have both of the Facebook pages.
what do you mean?
What do I mean? Have more than one page on Facebook? One likable page?
Why
one
would
friend
you
page?
want to? That's stupid.
I don't think that's stupid at all.
I think it's very gay. Got the wrong one.
You sound like a gay.
Now we're talking. Man, what
You
happened to
go
this?
with the fat fingers again.
We going?
Seriously.
I got real fat. I got one fatty, and it has to do with
Okay.
the Game 7 performance. What do you think?
First of all, we haven't had a show here since even before Game 1 started.
This is called Rust.
So before we even get into this whole debacle of Game 7,
I want in. I want vitriol now.
let's just do a brief rundown of the series here. Okay. Game 1.
Hold on, wait. I'm down with you. Let's go. Ready? Go ahead.
Okay.
So, what's your first? Because look, I pulled up my notes.
Okay.
Actually, I don't. It started with Game 6, but go ahead.
Game 1, Axon got ridiculed for that call. It was pretty much an even game, back and forth. And he just in fact, as far as I'm concerned, he was hustling his ass off.
You know what the biggest problem about that call was?
What was the biggest
What
problem with
happened
that
right
call?
after it? Braden Shen
Oh. Look, yes.
takes away a power play opportunity
Yes.
by being a total asshole.
Okay, I agree with you. But I don't think I thought that was a great hustle play by Axon, trying to get back, trying to create some energy,
I agree with that.
trying to create some momentum, and his stick just won't follow through, unfortunately, and caught the guy in the face.
You
You know?
but right after that is when Braden Shen totally canceled out that call.
And that goes into one of my reasons why Braden Shen just was the greatest magician that I've ever seen in my life. Because where the hell was he all series? Where the hell was Scott Hartnell all series?
Dude.
Where was Braden Coburn
That's my
all
number
series?
one. Hart's was literally not a ghost in like a sneaky way. A fucking ghost. On forecheck, on the back check,
Like
in a
he
neutral
needs
zone.
to go tanning type of ghost?
No, like there was a fucking, like we would call line change, line 2, let's go, and 2 dudes would jump off the bench and 3 would jump on. That dude did shit.
Yep.
And for making what he makes, and I don't even care about the money really, it's just all a matter of the fact that you are supposed to be a face of the franchise, you know what I mean? And he's always all over Facebook and the Hartnell Down and all that shit. And
He's a fan favorite, yes.
He's a fan favorite, and rightfully so. He's a good guy, he seems, at heart, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm not really rooting for how you feel as a person, okay? I'm rooting for how you do for me, because that's what you're employed for. You're employed for me, you know? And for the last 7 games, as I called it, by the way, Rangers in 7, not really tooting my own horn, but you can suck on my ass cock. He didn't show up one bit.
No. But we would agree both that the changing point in that game was that call and the 2 goals in the power play.
100%.
Okay.
But the thing is, I would throw in the fact that it wasn't just that Atkinson's high stick. It was the fact that Braden Shen later in that game also canceled out a penalty by doing a stupid high stick of his own by being over. He was like a child, man. He's exactly what his age was. Like, he acted like a child. He got too excited about something, and we had a power play. The ref's arm was up, and he went over, and he high-sticked someone himself later on. It was ridiculous.
Yes. What were your game 2 notes?
I don't know. Let me look them up. Say something until I look them up.
Show me potato salad.
Okay. Here's my game 2 note, and it has nothing to do with the actual game. You know what's weird about the series? How it went win loss. You know, like every other.
Yeah, nobody won 2 games in a row.
My game 2 note to my mind was a penalty that goes against a guy that I thought, besides Hartnell, was the worst player of the series. So Coburn, right, who's like 6'5", standing up. Zuccarello now takes this penalty. He's taking a slow little pass. Now he becomes a little squatter.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden he's 5 foot, maybe even.
Yeah, bending the knees, taking the pass, like you're saying.
And
yes.
Coburn plays it over his head and body legally.
Yes.
Like he would be sweeping over a railing.
Yeah, I remember this.
And he gets called for a hold.
I saw it, and I remember watching the replay after it was called, thinking the exact same thing in my mind that you just said.
Unreal.
It's not a hold. He didn't really obstruct him in any way that impeded his puck movement or impeded his way to skate. He kind of just needed to try and poke check him from over top of him.
Right.
It's just
with the space that was given.
That's exactly correct.
He actually made the best play of his series on that play that resulted in a penalty for him. He was so terrible this whole series, though. Coburn was awful.
Yep.
Now, I have a new name for him. It's Coburn. I can't even say it. Ready? Colburnius. No, I'm kidding. That's not even close. You got turnovers. You got Braden Coburn. You got Colburnovers. All right? That's what I think of this series.
Well, they won that game, so.
So what do you think about Game 3? Look, I only have notes for the last 2 games, so let's not all get all
rambunctious.
Rambunctions. Mr. Rambunctious. That's not the same song. Shout out to Shaggy.
Game 3.
I'm going to get to tonight. Let's go.
Okay. Well, look, coming back to Philly, I really thought we had the momentum after winning Game 2, and not at all. You know, they come out with Emery again. You know, you're thinking.
I can't tell you how big of a mistake that was.
Steve Mason was. Well, no, wait.
Can we put it on record?
Wait a second.
That I texted you that this is a big mistake, and you texted me back because I know we.
Oh, I totally agree.
Just in case we didn't do a podcast, or just in case whatever happened that last Tuesday, I wanted to let you know before we do a podcast. This is a huge mistake, and you said
if Mason is 100% healthy was the text message.
If Mason was, yes, okay. and that's why they said he was, and that's why he was backing him up.
No, and then Mason came out for the pre-skate warm-up.
If he wasn't 100% healthy, do you think that they put him in with 7.5 minutes left?
That's
ridiculous.
That's what I couldn't understand.
No, there's nothing to understand. He was 100% healthy. You don't put a 90% who's going to be your future goaltender out with 7.5 minutes to do cleanup time.
But Mason said that he wasn't 100% after warm-ups.
Mason is a little boy when it comes to that.
Really?
Okay?
Because he played like a god. So
Of
I
course
would not
he did,
call him a
throughout the
little
rest of his
boy.
series. No, because Mason is. You know what he is? He's silently becoming a leader with the players around him.
I could not. I got news for you. I could not stand the fact that they put him in, and everyone's sitting here defending the move by Berube after
So
putting
put
him
who
in.
in?
To put
Emery or Mason?
Mason in.
That was my. I was talking to you before to be on record about, hey, this move is wrong to put Mason in or to put Emery in. Mason should be in. If he's dressed, he's got to be in. Now, what we didn't talk about after that was the fact of when they put Emery in, or I'm sorry, when they put Mason in to back up Emery, that was even more worse.
That was horrible as far as I'm concerned. And people saying, hey, he hasn't played for a while. You got to get him playing time. You got to get him back into the groove of things. And no, you don't. There must have been a reason why he didn't start the game. So if he didn't start the game, why would you want to put him in for 7 minutes?
Exactly.
And
That's just dumb.
that is dumb. And I'll tell you that another thing that really irked me about that game was Emery's going to make that save that's going wide. Do you remember that one?
I don't even want to. Yes, because I talked with Christina. About this
apparently, Ray Emery thought there was a soccer net behind him all of a sudden.
Oh my God, dude! And
What
you know what?
the fuck are you trying to? What are you saving?
That didn't even happen once.
Get the fuck out.
That
It's
happened multiple times.
2 feet wide of the net, and he is reaching out like it's
Oh my
a
God.
fucking nuclear warhead heading for
It's
New York City.
it's
or
like
something.
one of those soccer penalty shots
Oh my
where you got to guess
God.
where it goes.
What the hell is he thinking?
Oh my God!
So-
yeah, go for it.
You know who you're talking to.
From there, okay, now Mason starts the rest of now. Mason's good to go for the rest of the series at that point.
God,
Okay.
Jesus Christ,
And
Superstar.
you can go back and forth with anybody whoever you want to talk to, but he kept them in all the games as far as I'm concerned, or he was at least their best player for every single one of those games.
Dude,
Okay.
if you can't admit as a hockey fan that Steve Mason showed the fuck up and wore that jersey better than anybody else while he played this playoff series, then you got problemos.
Yes. Okay.
Well, fuck you.
So real fast, okay. So they win Game 4. They come out completely flat for Game 5. I don't know what
for most games.
what they're doing for Game 5 there. Absolutely not. Rangers go up 3-0. They eventually come back and make it 3-2. They score with the goalie pulled with almost 3 minutes left. I think
No,
it was.
minute and a half.
What was it?
Minute and a half.
All right,
Giroux with some bullshit goal, which all of a sudden makes his stats look like, hey, he's a leader. Fuck that.
Yeah, he's clutch, right?
Yeah.
And
suck on my ass.
You know what his second goal of the series was, right?
Another piece of garbage.
Empty netter.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cleaning up.
An empty netter.
So
In Game 6. So anyway, if they come out flat. Okay, it's do or die in Game 6, and they come out with the crowd behind them, and they own the game from the start. Okay, and Simmons shows up. Gustafsson scores. That makes
that
Ruby
Gustafsson goal, dude. Let me ask you a question for the
Sure,
start of Game
sure.
6, because we like to kind of, and rightfully so. Look, we have aspirations here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we like to kind of correlate ourselves with what is popular in the city as far as sports talk is concerned. Not that we really think that we could ever be anything like that. Maybe someday, you never know. We could have some a YouTube following and a whole nine. But there's been a big discussion about the Kate Smith influence of maybe about how the Flyers play or just in general. Now, the Kate Smith, for those who don't know, Kate Smith sung "God Bless America" during the Flyers Stanley Cup run back in the 70s.
If you don't know that, unfollow us. If you're
yeah,
following
but
us,
you're
please.
really not helping. We're trying to start here. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
ridiculous.
See it, mate.
So, nevertheless, so now they kind of do like a back and forth with Kate Smith and Lauren Hart, and I just want to know your feelings about that. Is it overused and not used enough? What do you think?
Overused.
Wow, overused. Now, do you know the record is like 93-25 when they use it?
I don't care.
Really?
I don't know.
I think it's impressive. Now, I don't think it's overused. I think it's on the brink, but I
Right.
like it and I enjoy when it happens.
There's only 2 times I think it should be used.
Let me guess.
Go ahead.
Any Game 7 at home.
No. Well, that would go into play as to what I'm about to say. So I
So
can't say.
okay, so any clincher at home,
Correct.
or any game in the Stanley Cup Finals.
No.
Hmm.
Any game any elimination game at home.
Oh, good for
Wow, so you went the other side.
Any elimination game.
So
whether,
not clincher, but elimination.
Anyway,
back against the wall.
No. Elimination as you're about to eliminate your opponent,
That's not elimination.
or you can be eliminated by your opponent.
So you just took it to a whole new level then. So in other words, every time they used Kate Smith, you liked it. They used they used it twice, right?
Yes. However, this year is what you're. If as far as this year, fine, that's okay.
So you think they've used it
But there
ad nauseum before?
Absolutely.
I think I might
there was a,
remember that.
There
as
was
well.
there was a series a few years ago where they played every single home game. They did the split screen with her and Lauren Hart.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's a little bit of an overusage.
That gets to the point where it's no longer special, in my opinion. The crowd doesn't get as amped up, and you could actually hear it in the crowd. I remember that year where you were getting amped up the first time you heard it, and then by game 5,
You
game
can't do that
6,
to Kate Smith though. They did that to Kate Smith. They
Yes.
drawn her out.
yeah, I'm telling you, and I'll look it up. I mean, I don't know where the hell I'm gonna get.
No, you
stats
know
like
what?
that
I
from,
actually
but
think
I'm
I
telling you, I'm
remember
gonna
that.
look it up.
I think it was the year where we beat where we lost to Chicago in the Stanley Cup. I think that they used it all throughout because, and it's weird because I think we didn't need to because we were owning the Devils and the Canadians and all. You know, we were owning them. First of all, when we beat the Devils in 5 games in the first round, it was like, what? We don't do that. And it was kind of a sign of the times. And then so maybe they overused it then. But nevertheless, your other thoughts on Game 6? I just wanted to know that because Game 6 was a big part of holding that tradition. I was all about it, and I know it's become kind of like a little bit of a hot stove topic with some diehards.
Game 6, I love that feeling of having all the momentum in a series. And I'll tell you what else I really love
That's momentum too.
going into tonight. I really, really enjoyed the fact that they didn't have a day off between Game 6 and
And a
Game
lot
7.
of people were saying that.
And I know they were.
A lot of people were saying that.
But even after the game, it's immediately after the game, and I'm like, I'm so happy this is a quick turnaround to tomorrow. You're literally waking up
I was
as a
like,
Ranger thinking, shit, they just fucking owned us last night.
I got
We
news
got to
for
play
you.
them again tonight.
I got news for you. This just in. This is not what you think it might be.
Okay.
But I just had to say, I got some buddies from New York,
Mm-hmm.
and their Facebook yesterday was almost pissing me off because after we won yesterday,
Yes.
I mean, my buddy put up a Facebook post, right? And when I worked out in Vegas for a hockey team, he was one of the guys who worked with me. He's from New York, whole Rangers Mets guy. And his post was, oh, well, I guess we're done tomorrow night too. And then it had like 13 comments, and I read them all. I didn't comment on one of them because right now I'm in the mix with him. Me and him aren't talking because of that. I'm sure I'll give him a little heads up now, but who the fuck? I'm going to root for him over the Penguins, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, they're talking back and forth. Him and 13 other friends are saying how Lundqvist looks like shit, how he hasn't looked right in 3 years. They might as well trade him. Like, all this shit. And I was, like, blown away. I was like, you got to be kidding me, dude. To be honest with you, I mean, now we got Mason. I'm not saying Mason's the end-all, be-all, but they turned around. They turned on his team. All the people on there said, I don't have any confidence for tomorrow. You know, and it was like, oh, my God, like, everything's in our corner here. Are we gonna rock and roll and do this? Because I knew our troubles in MSG, but that no day off sounded like a fucking equalizer. And,
No, I just don't agree.
Didn't look like it until about but I'm agreeing with you. I don't know if you understand.
Oh, you said equalizer.
Yeah, in other words, saying like that day off means that that no day off means that we're gonna kick ass.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood you.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that the Rangers not having a day off, they were just going to equalize us as far as
To
what
be
we
honest
did
with
the
you,
day before.
I don't even know if I used the word correctly.
Could be a crackhead.
Well, maybe.
Crackhead.
I do my thing.
So, okay. Game starts tonight. 0-0 after 1.
Yep.
Thoughts on that?
Pussies. Because they came out of playing. You know what worked in Game 6? You know what worked? It was the only game out of 7 games that people got their fucking bell rung at all, let alone a lot, okay? Through the first 5 games, no fucking blue sweater was on the ground. None of them, okay? And if they were, it was by accident. Maybe 3 or 4 people hit each other at the same time going mucking for a puck in a corner. Game 6, there was at least 6 or 7 of them down in the first fucking 10 minutes due to And you know who? Not just Ronaldo, and not just people finishing their checks, but some dude named Braden Shen who sucks. All right, like we talked about, who sucks. But when he plays physical, it's the only time that he shows up, and it's like he feeds on it. It's like it's a legit food for the soul for him. When he plays physical, he plays the rest of the game pretty damn good. He played physical one game. And he scored. Did he score? Nevertheless, he played fucking good. The whole team did. Physicality for the Flyers has always been. And I know people have said, "Hey, look, you always been goons, and Flyers, you're not with the times. Get some Russian players, get some dudes from Europa. Let's get involved and start skating and start doing finesse and all this." Well, I got news for you. We don't play on a fucking Olympic ice hockey rink. It's not expanded. We still had the boards closer. When those motherfuckers got back from Russia, they should have hit harder.
I'm going to go make a sandwich. I'll be back.
Oh, cool. So I will take liverwurst with mustard and onion. Want some rye bread toasted. All right?
Jesus Christ.
That made me feel like a piece of shit.
Well, I didn't eat it yet. But that's what I'm saying. Physicality equals W's when you come to the orange and black, and I'm not saying overly. I'm not saying everyone's got to finish a check. I'm not saying everybody's got to hit a defenseman on the board who clears the puck, and then you just got to kill him. I'm saying you have to play physical. We played physical one game, and we won 5-2.
Flyers played the
One
first
game.
period of Game 7 like they were just trying to survive the first period.
Like they were trying to survive MSG, which is this ghostly fucking place.
Correct, which are 1-12
What you just
in the
won
last
at last
13
time you were there.
games.
2 times ago when you were there.
2 times ago when you were there.
Ah,
yeah.
get out of there, all right?
Is that how you pronounce it?
So that's how they. In fact, in my opinion, that's how they played. They knew that they're right. The MSG, the fucking the majesty, the legend of MSG. They were going to have to come out and survive that the crowd and the passion that the Rangers were going to come out with, and that's how it looked like they played to survive the first period. And you know what? 0-0 after one. Whatever. I wasn't really thrilled with it, but at the same time, like, all right, to a point, I guess that makes a little bit of sense. I'm thinking
We were down 1-0.
but I thought going into going into the second period,
Yeah, we were down 1-0 after one.
it was nothing after one.
You sure?
100% positive.
Oh,
You can
someone's
look-
going to do
you can
his
look it up.
homework.
He's going to look it up right now. He's going to see that he was wrong.
Total asshole.
But in any event,
I think I got this one.
they're
Oh, my God, you're right. They scored 2 in a second.
I know this already.
You're smart.
So going into the second period, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I think the Rangers not getting a goal in that first period is gonna start to get in their head. Okay, shit. We have home ice advantage in Game 7. The crowd's behind us. We're in MSG. This team has such a bad record against us, and here we are, and we can't get a goal in the first period. Okay?
And we didn't even look like we wanted to.
That's exactly correct. And I'm thinking, but you know what? I think Berube's gonna be in the locker room between 1 and 2, and he's gonna be telling them that.
This is my issue.
What's your issue?
I don't know about this cat. I gave him I got confidence in him moving forward. My problem is Berube towards his captain, because that captain has got a big fucking mirror to look at right now.
We'll get into that. Okay.
I'm gonna get into it now.
Wait.
All right.
So
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
going into the second period, I thought they had all the momentum, and I couldn't have been more wrong. Rangers scored 2 goals in a second, and all of a sudden you got to score 3 goals to win the game, or at least 2 to send it to OT in the third period. And it looked bleak. It didn't look like we were going to get a single goal. It looked like they were going to come out in the third period and just be like, all right, we're packing it in. So,
They packed it in, pal.
yeah, well, not I mean, look.
Second period, I did. I'll
Yes,
tell you
they
what.
did.
I had
Atkinson came out and got a decent bounce,
I had a legit at the end of the second. I had a legit helpless feeling, like helpless.
Yeah, we all did.
I mean, actually, after their first goal, the way it happened, the way it transpired, it was karma, because they should have already scored once, and then they came back and they scored the second, and I was like, you know what? That sucks.
Yep.
Because they should have got one, and finally, for 1 out of 100 times, divine intervention helped us, right?
Yep.
And then they got one like 10 seconds after, just to dick around. And I went, you know what? That's bullshit. And then right after that, that was within the first 5 minutes. And I go, you know what? This is going to be a long second period. And to be honest with you, to come out of that at 2-0, I was like, I felt like we had a chance a little bit if we would just show up. But
should have been 5-0 too.
Dude, Steve Mason he made his ploy to be the stopper that we might have always wanted. I've been saying it for the whole year at the last year. Look, all I want is I just want to be home. And by be home, I mean I just want someone at home so I can feel like I'm at home. And we haven't had anybody at home since Texas.
And look, I mean, I'm not going to go too much into detail here, but the last 20 seconds of the game, you have Giroux shoot that puck wide of the net. It gets caught in the net. They see that.
I jumped up like a fucking
was so
gay.
It was nuts, okay? And
that reminded me of Leclerc's.
It doesn't hit Lundqvist, and they take the face off. It goes, to out the center at that point. And then there's that icing with 2.7 seconds left that they call icing.
And then
take
they
all the way
jit
to
it
the zone,
back.
And then something you never see.
Yep.
The referees all get together and say, blown call. So not that the Flyers would have scored there, and I'm not. The chances of you scoring there are extremely minute. But I was ridiculous. Like, just stand by your call.
I don't think I've ever heard it
that.
before. Not that like you said, but
and I'm not blaming the Flyers' loss on
No.
on any of that. But I just wanted to touch base on that real fast because
they used it legit,
I know people will talk about
quote
that.
unquote as a blown call.
That's
we
exactly
call it
correct.
a blown call. Now I don't know when you would ever get away from that, but that is what it is. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's not the reason why the Flyers lost.
Flyers lost in the first period, if you ask me.
I'm gonna ask you a question though, and I want you to give me one answer.
Okay.
Who's to blame for them losing the series, or what is to blame for them losing the series?
And just to let you guys know, we're not really going to go for segments here. This is just a pure vent. Okay. For the series overall, who wears them on the back?
Yes.
The captain, Claude Giroux.
Okay.
For what was the other question?
I said who or what.
Okay.
So
well, basically it's the same because Claude Giroux wears on his back for a what? Claude Giroux for a lack of production as a captain. Okay, you mentioned he scored 2 goals this series. He had 6 points in 6 games coming in tonight. Oh my God, he had 2 goals and 4 assists. One was those 2 goals, cleanup time and an empty net.
Yep.
All right. So assists to me in a playoff game when you're a captain really don't cut the cake, pal. Also, who's doing the talking in this locker room? Because I don't even care what the coach. We've all seen it, the behind the scenes, the 24/7s and this and that. The coach does his thing, but you have the dudes fucking tying up their skate and saying this, that, and the other. And where's Claude doing it? Because I don't feel that he is. I'm not going to say we need a new captain. I think it's past the point of no return with that. But there was a big problem. We've always had a problem with naming a captain, and the whole league has actually, being based on your youngest talented player. We need a captain who's a leader, who's been through the trenches, who's fucking dug it out and won, or even just has led people to the promised land. You know what I mean?
That's why I'll tell you, before Claude Giroux got the C,
You wanted Teeman.
No. I wanted Danny Briere.
Well, that would have worked too. Sure.
He's a veteran.
Absolutely.
He is proven.
Absolutely.
He is proven to be a clutch guy.
Well,
and
here's the thing.
He has proven to. I mean, you remember I think it was the Buffalo series.
Dude.
Remember that?
Doesn't matter what team he played for, he's clutching the playoffs.
But do you remember when he played Buffalo in the playoffs?
Absolutely.
And he just
Point a gamer.
He lit a fire under his guys in the locker room. Danny Briere, he's all 5'9". He's but I just
That's
really
what a leader is.
Really feel as if I think G was giving it a year or two too early, in my personal opinion.
Oh, well, no, I go past that.
Okay.
I mean, I think that, you know how they do the shit in college basketball now? It used to be you can come out as a freshman, you can come out as a senior in high school. Now you need to be 19 to be in a draft. I think you need to be a certain age to be a fucking captain in the NHL because Stamkos ain't a captain. You know what I mean? People like that, they're not captains. They're
Neither
just
is
not.
Crosby, by the way. Crosby's not a fucking captain. Give me a
You
break.
ain't kidding, pal.
Jesus Christ.
There's not one dude that ain't French that fucking gives a fuck about him being
No.
a man on the team.
Absolutely
Pascal
not.
Dupuis probably beats off the posters over his bed,
God.
but other than that, he can suck on my ass.
But I completely agree with you that Claude Giroux absolutely reason for this, and that he's going to be the scapegoat, and
But he should be because he's got the seal on
and
his
that's
chest.
exactly what I think.
You
it
should
is.
deny it if you don't want it, pal.
This isn't something I'm saying because it's trending, because that's what everybody's saying. I'm
Hashtag
saying,
trending Claude Giroux.
I'm saying this because it's a fact. That's a fact.
Yep.
Claude Giroux, you got to fucking show up, buddy. You got a huge contract, and the city fucking loves you, and you're not going to show up in the fucking playoffs or in Game 7 in anything. Just like you just said, his 2 goals, cleanup time, and an empty netter.
Big time.
You know, you're playing on the first line, and Jake pretty much carried your line because Hartnell was just we just talked about was absolutely nothing.
Oh my god,
you
dude.
know
that dude fucking lost any. First of all, I never really dug him, but I thought he was getting back into it a little bit.
Who,
Hartnell?
Hartz?
Oh my god, dude! What?
I'll tell you.
Look, you said his name twice, and I went, dude. It makes me.
I hate.
It's like I had 3 kids, and one of them was a fucking crackhead,
Good, be a crackhead.
and that's Hartnell.
Hartnell, as I've said this for years,
Hartnell.
Hartnell has always only been
A tit fucker.
a productive hockey player when he has had guys like Yager playing on his line or Giroux.
Do you want to open a whole new?
That's no, I don't really right now.
Because Yager signed a new deal with and that means he could have been a Flyer for 3 years more.
I don't even want to. I don't want to get into that right now.
Has anybody ever loved Philadelphia more than Jaromir Yager? It's weird to say that. If you would have said that 10 years ago, but he left here, had nothing but the best words to say. Went to Dallas, went to New Jersey, and now they're signing him again for $5 million next year, which means he's got 3 years of productivity in front of him, and we let him go for nothing. And he said, after that year playing on Giroux's line, he said, I've never had so much fun playing hockey. And he won 2 rings.
I know.
But
this.
the greatest player in my estimation,
Mario Lemieux.
Lemieux. You know what I'm saying?
You sound like a gay.
So
That's how you pronounce it in America.
You
right.
sound like a gay.
So
Nah,
we
I'll
both
stop talking.
we both agree that Drew needs to take the blame here, and rightfully so. I want to just.
That's weird. You know who we both agree with? Who would be the MVP of the series, by the way?
Jake. Yes.
Big time.
So, and he didn't have a bad series.
No, he also was the MVP.
Oh, absolutely not. Steve Mason was the MVP.
Who's right then? Mason or
Mason.
Voracek?
Stop using that.
I don't know. All right, wait.
Okay, now we're good.
No, because
Wait,
you
you
said
gotta
stop
even it
using that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
dude, my host or my co-host here, he's very OCD.
No, he was
So,
right when saying my host.
so,
By the way, he hasn't had
uh,
any of that Tully that I put in front of
You've
him.
been trying to, but I've been talking.
All right, so
too much.
here's what we're going to do. Do you think Steve Mason or Jake Voracek was the MVP of the series?
This
So you
is-
have to let us know.
Steve
Out of the
Mason,
10
Steve Mason,
Twitter followers,
Steve
and
Mason,
the one
Steve
hand
Mason,
I just
Steve Mason,
broke
Steve
hitting.
Mason, Steve Mason, Stone Cold Steve Mason. Where's the glass shatter?
Oh, wait.
There it is.
So right now,
Throw me beer.
right now between me and Fresh, you have to understand.
It's a sausage competition.
Yeah, too. I mean, it's not really.
So I want to. Oh wait, I want to plant some seeds here. I want to banner
Plant
about
some
this real
seeds.
fast. Okay. I want to ask you some what ifs because that's all we have right now in Philadelphia. That's what we have after every fucking year except 2008 Phillies. Is
Can
what
I-
if? What if? What if?
All right. So you're. By the way, this is once again. I mean, I'm half shot. By the way, to heaven here. You're fresh off a long drive over to my place. So what we're gonna do here is this is totally unscripted. You're gonna give me some. But why don't I answer them with the soundboard? What do you think? You got any?
This isn't a yes or no that you can do ding or dong for.
Well, fuck you.
So
I win.
actually need some talking,
All right.
some
I need
communication.
some
here.
banter. Okay. Let me just open a new beer.
If Steve Mason is healthy and plays in every single game this series,
Yes,
do the
yes.
Flyers win?
Oh, first of all, I don't even have. Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. Let me just put my other arm. That might have been 8, but I tried to do 7 because we could have swept them in a row. Look, this was a player that was in such a zone that has made. Listen to sports talk, okay? Listen to the major sports talk stations. This will be the first time ever in 15 years.
I already know what you're going to say.
You're going to
I
hear
already know
people
what you're gonna
say, we got our goalie. We have it. We're going forward. And you know what? That's going to create excitement, and as well it should. All right? But Steve Mason has played, over the last 2 years, in regular season play, in our guesstimation, fine. You're good. You're ready to go. We already know. It's like we're scouts. You know, you can see it, right? But for the the Mayweathers here, that doesn't make any sense. It's not black fighters, but the people that can watch these games and go, hey, you know what? I think they're on to something here. This guy is already locked up. By the way, they locked him up this year, which is a great move. Great move by Holmgren. We're set with our goalie here. So ready to rock.
It'll also be the first time in 15, 20 years where for the next 4.5 months until we see preseason Flyers hockey,
That there won't be any goalie talk.
there won't be any goalie talk, and you won't hear anybody say, or you won't hear anyone who's not drunk, high, or isn't really know what the fuck they're talking about say that
Don't you fucking understand?
the reason why we didn't lose a playoff series was because of our goalie,
Right.
which is amazing.
Yep.
You know?
Now but you might hear it for this series because they fucked up on Game 3.
No, I don't. I'm talking about the play of the goaltender is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
not the coach's decision. I'm talking about the actual goaltender.
But don't you think that
Is it-
if Emery plays in this playoffs, I mean, if Steve Mason plays in Game 3, is it a difference?
That's what I asked you. That's pretty much what I asked you, and
Yeah.
you said yes. They would have won the series. But
I forgot.
look,
I'm drinking.
Is it the coach's decision for Michael Layton to let in one of the softest goals in all of Stanley Cup Finals history?
It looked like it was Layton's decision.
I
but no,
would believe
yeah,
so. Yes,
yeah.
it would be Layton's decision.
Yeah.
Okay, it's based on the play of the goaltender at that point. You know,
That goal
now
fucking scares me.
you have the whole. You remember when Laviolette? How many times did he pull the goalie in the 1 year
Ugh.
between?
Dude, well, first of all, Patrick Waugh is doing a fucking whole new life.
I
on,
know.
and I love it. You just rolled your eyes.
I hate Patrick.
I love it.
What kind of shit is that?
Why do you hate Patrick Waugh?
I just think that he is
Firefighter?
a firefighter.
Like he's got venom in him. He just wants to fight, baby.
There-
That dude.
He seems ignorant.
I
I remember.
like he wants. Dude, he
I
seems like
remember-
every true Philadelphian.
No.
Yes, he
no,
does.
No.
Yes, he
no,
does. I love
no,
Patrick Waugh.
I hate him. And I also remember watching video of him sending his son in a Canadian hockey league to go fight the other goaltender. They're just stuff like that. It's just
How old is
it
Patrick
irks
Waugh?
me.
Like 30? Like he's like 42. He's
Old enough that they should be dead.
And he wants. Nah, dude, all he wants to do is fight. He's a beast.
I'll fight him.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's 40, but he'll beat down anybody else who wants to fucking go.
Okay. Well, my other what if for you is
He'll beat down Steve Ott. Remember when Pierre Laviolette went like, "Hey, what are you yelling at?" Patrick Waugh would have went right punch, done, deal.
Let's go back in time.
Cool.
2 weeks left in the regular season. The Flyers were second in the division. Okay?
Yeah, but I mean, second.
Listen,
See,
listen.
this is the worst part about the new playoffs.
Please
guys.
listen to me.
Okie dokie.
With 9 games left.
Snakes over here.
Okay? With 9 games left.
I know.
The Flyers got 8 points out of those 9 games. The Rangers got 12.
Out of a possible
18.
I don't know how to do that, man.
9 times 2.
14. Shit. Divided by what? Save me. Come on.
I just told you this. I just told you the answer.
Dumb.
So here's my what if for you. If the Flyers have home ice advantage in this series, do they win the series?
In all honesty, because it went back and forth, yes. And you know why? Once again, it goes back to Mason. They played Mason in Game 3 at MSG because they would have had a 0-9 going into it. And so you got, we got Emery, who's good against the Rangers, but Mason, who's even better as a Flyer.
Okay,
against the
yes,
Rangers.
it could have come into the decision. But
Why are you
Rangers,
looking like that?
Rangers won 3 of 4 at Madison Square
Fuck
Garden.
them.
So I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, if they only win 2 or 3 at Madison Square Garden, we get 1 at least.
Look, this
We take care of our business at home. We get 3 or 4 at home. Now we win the series in 7. That's what it comes down to.
well, I mean, you're saying exactly what the Rangers did. So,
But it's very unfortunate that Mason had to have that injury at the end of the year like that.
it's very unfortunate that Mason didn't start Game 3.
Okay, you're never gonna let that go.
Fucking never.
Holy crap!
I guarantee. And if people actually are listening, well, let's do Game 3 Mason. Hashtag it. I don't even know what that means.
WCF, mate.
I have no idea. All right? All right, you know what? Let's put fresh up. You know what? Let me hit other buttons. Ready?
It's
There you go.
Thank
Spread
you.
that around,
Thank you.
assholes.
It's raining.
I'm a rain.
It's
Drop.
rain. That's a rain.
All right,
It's raining, baby. I'm a
I got
raindrop.
some notes. I'm looking at it all willy-nilly here. Can I ask a question to you, Douglas,
To me.
a.k.a.
As long as
Fresh?
you don't call me Douglas.
All right, Mr. Freshy,
Yes.
which is even weird that you like to be called that. I have some notes written down, and I can barely even see them. But Simmons was MIA for Game 7. Do you agree? Simmer, coming off of a hat trick.
Yeah. I mean, look, he doesn't show up on the score sheet, so you kind of tend to go that way.
No.
he
We're
looked-
not about score sheets.
Okay,
Me and
listen.
you. We don't do that.
There were some plays in Game 7 where I thought that he was pretty physical and it looked like he was
No,
a
he
presence
wasn't.
in front of the net. That's
Yeah, barely.
Well,
Barely.
I'm just telling you
I know.
what my opinion
I got
is.
you. I got
But if overall, if you ask me that question, I'd have to lean towards having the momentum of a hat trick, your first hat trick in the playoffs.
And nothing fucking came out of it, dude.
Yes.
Played like an asshole.
You know what? You know what else?
I got news for you. You better fucking cross-check someone in the throat.
No, but I really
No, if you don't have a fucking point or even you don't even show on a camera.
I'll tell you what I really would have enjoyed when they went down 2-0. Simmons coming out on his next shift and just fighting somebody.
Absolutely.
That's what would have been awesome. Just
And that crowd went wild because, one black player will put someone over the hunch. I got news for you. You watch Montreal fucking Boston. Because when Subban, every time he touches... What? PK Subban. I'm talking about the Sudan here.
the Taliban.
He's not from the Sudan. Every time he touches the puck, those motherfuckers cheer and jeer in Boston. Every single...
A sausage competition.
Well, that might be the case too. But that's why they're mad, maybe. It's all about it. But my biggest point about tonight was Game 7, they're pussies. I already said it once. I'll say it again. Where's the physical play, Fresh? Where is it? Tell me. Shen, okay, he's behind the net, right? Early. And he has a wraparound pass, clear as day. And he doesn't recognize the actual stick hand of the player, right? And he passes it to the other side, so it's like a clearing attempt for the own defense. Dude, I almost shit my pants.
I'll tell you what I felt like halfway through this game.
Oh, my God.
And it was before the Rangers scored their second goal when it was 1-0.
Okay.
To me, it felt like the Flyers thought they won the series last night.
You kidding me?
That's what it felt like.
All
It was
right.
like they were down 3-2 and they tied the series at 3.
And the
Here
way
comes
they did it,
round
though.
2. Wait a second, guys. There's one more game left. You haven't proven anything yet.
No.
Thank you for being resilient. Thank you for coming to play in your building in Game 6 in the playoffs like you're fucking paid to. Like the fans come to pay and see you do. Okay? But there's one more game. We're big boys.
Big boy.
Okay? We're adults here. By the way, random stat. And this blew my mind when I heard it.
Okay.
Hal Gill was benched for
One game.
who
Ever.
was he benched for?
Gustafson,
Okay, yes.
who scored a goal on a breakaway out of the penalty box because he's much
Please stop
more
this.
attractive. I'd like to watch his
I'm
webcam.
going to go make my second sandwich. I knew you were going to do that.
Like, took me a while to find it. Wait. All right.
Okay.
We got fans.
So, here we go. Okay, I love this stat. Gustafson has played in eight games.
Right.
I'm sorry, it will be 9 games after tonight with the Flyers in the playoffs. And has how many goals?
I'm 3, I'm pretty sure.
2.
2, okay.
It's 2.
Still, 2 for 9 out of a defenseman ain't bad.
Two goals in 9 games. Hal Gill.
Dude, by the way, he might be the single reason why we lost that game.
I know. That turnover was so bad. But wait.
Wait.
Do you know the stat?
Hal Gill.
Before I say this,
Dude, that sounds like his
I-
fucking jet.
I honestly
farts.
thought, I know the guy can't move and he's 39 years old and he's at the end he's at the end of his career, but I really thought that playing on your third
He
defensive
can't
pairing,
move.
on your third defensive pairing. He's huge. He's got a long reach. I thought that would be an advantage to him in some instances, okay?
Today, Junior?
Yes.
I don't have it, so I'll play this.
Okay. Hal Gill, going into that game, had played in 111 career playoff games.
With the Penguins.
WCF, mates.
Hal Gill, in 111 career playoff games, has how many goals, Wood?
Wait, this is totally off the cuff. I'm going to guess 0.
0 is off the cuff, and it is correct.
Holy shit. Nevertheless, he had it on his tape. He had it on his tape. Good God, dude. No! He had it on his tape,
That
Chip.
blew my
Oh,
mind.
my God.
Oh, good for you.
I was actually driving when I heard that, and I almost hit a telephone pole.
Dude. Oh, when Hal Gill playoff goal almost
No, when I
happened?
heard that stat.
Oh,
I couldn't
Jesus
believe
Christ.
that. Let me ask you something.
That play almost killed our playoffs.
Playoffs?
If I dressed you
Ugh.
for
If you
100,
dressed me, it would look like a ballerina.
if I dressed you for 111 playoff games with any NHL team, do you think you could maneuver your body at least once in 111 career playoff games and just take a puck off the shin or the stick or the back of your fucking dick and go
Off
into the
my
net?
dick.
I asked you one simple question, and you couldn't fucking answer me.
No, I think I could.
I think you could,
back,
too.
Back of the dicks, you know.
I think you could.
Yeah, I could have done that.
So
but,
Hal Gill,
but if you would have put it on the dick of my stick, well, I don't know what that.
It's a sausage competition.
No, but I'm saying I think I might have lifted it more. you know?
I think you might have. I think you might outscore him. So Hal Gill, pack your bags and
please, dude.
happy trails.
Thanks for kind of ruining one of the most important spots of our playoffs, and get the fuck out. And you know what? Go back to Pittsburgh, please.
Okay.
What do you do?
So let me tell you this too.
Oh, good for you.
I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question.
Oh, good for you.
Actually, I want to ask you 2 questions.
I'm not going to again. Wow. One of the burps that wasn't me.
2 questions.
Okay. You know, I have one question to ask you. Wait, let's just get it out of the way. Oh, my God. I wasn't even hitting that. That's weird that I just timed it so well. It is time for The Option, the only segment we will do tonight. The Option is a segment in which we make fun of mandatory Eagles talk from a very popular sports talk station in Philadelphia because we think it's hilarious because they talk Eagles all the fucking time, even during Flyers. Welcome to your fucking Flyers playoff talk source that ends tonight. So we will have to find something else, but nevertheless, hopefully we entertain you enough. Now, The Option is about your hosts. I am Brian, that is Doug, and Brian asks Doug every week the option. And the option is, Doug, would you like to talk about the WNBA this week?
No.
And now we go on to whatever else wants to happen, because 1 week, that will change.
No.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
It's a sausage competition.
So what were you going to say there, Chieftain?
There are going to be. You're Paul Holmgren, okay? By the way, you're probably going to get fired.
And my fucking chin is a lot lower than I thought.
So, in your last action here as in your position,
Ugh.
okay? I really don't think he's going to be back. I really don't.
I do. I mean, you're ridiculous if you don't think so.
Well, that's literally what I think.
It's not Ruben tomorrow. It's fucking.
Okay, I'm just telling you what I think.
Cool.
Okay.
I think you're ugly.
Maybe I am.
Yep.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
There's 3 Flyers you got to get rid of this off season.
Braden Chen, Braden Coburn. But it's a Braden fucking fest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry. Did you want to follow that whole thought?
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
'Cause
You got the first 2.
Yeah, but that would kind of give me some. I was a big backer of the Mark Strait deal, and I still am. And I was a big backer of the Vincent LeCavier deal, but I didn't want it to be 5 years. I wanted it to be like 2 or 3.
By the way,
and it's 5.
Mark Street's nose looks a lot like Ron Burdenmore's. That's all I want to say.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's funny because neither of them are straight.
Hashtag Brenda Moore.
Well,
knows.
not that they're not, straight, but they're.
Sound like a
Their noses is what I'm talking about. Okay, so
Their noses.
So, both Braden. By the way, I'm telling you, Coburn is Coburnovers.
Okay,
All
1,
right?
2. Who's 3?
But I don't know who's 1 or 2. But nevertheless, I think if I could trade Braden Shen, I would.
Well, look, I'm not looking for you to cut
Coburn's
them or
got to
trade
get the
them.
fuck out.
I just want to say, I just want you to tell me who you don't want wearing a Flyers
Those
jersey
are the
next year.
2, man. And now I got a defenseman. I got a centerman. And you know what? I'm sick of all the centermen because I think I'm not going to put LeCavier 3. You know why? Because we get Shen out of here. Lavi will take his no, not that Lavi. LeCavy. Can I do LeCavy? Is that worth it?
I don't care.
All right, good. So LeCavy will take his John. Who's 3? That's a good point. What are your 3? So do 2, and I'll think of my 3rd.
Goodbye, Scott Hartnell.
Yeah, that's my 3rd. Yeah, you're right. I was just talking shit on him the whole time, and I forgot how he disappeared. You know what? That's how much he disappeared. That's how much. Dude, the dude disappeared so much that I couldn't even see him.
Coburn,
I hit that too
I
close.
completely agree with you. I also say Coburn. Coburn.
Your 3rd's going to be different, isn't it?
Coburn.
Please?
Braden Coburn reminds me so much of Chris Therien.
That's sad, though. He reminds you of Chris Therien 6 years before Chris Therien was Chris Therien.
And he's huge. He's a big defenseman. He
Coburn had the every year. Good, bad, good, bad,
And
good, bad.
Terry-
Now he's had bad, bad, worse.
And
So
Terry kind of had years like that, where
yeah, but you could count on him when it comes to Yager.
the
new Yager defender is Couturier, who takes care of Malkin.
you talk about pussies. Coburn is a pussy, and Therien was a pussy. Okay, Therien. I'll be honest with you though. I kind of like him on the radio.
Me too.
But as a player, I can distinctly remember when him and Matthew Barnaby got tangled up one game.
And he ran away.
Matthew Barnaby, Therien, he's huge. He's bigger than Matthew Barnaby. He can overpower him. He can muscle him. And I would love to have seen him just start throwing punches at him. Barnaby just sitting there sticking his tongue out at him.
Laughing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, hit that fucker in the mouth.
Yep.
Oh my God! Those.
You know what's
half
funny
of a
you said
second,
that?
I lost total respect for Chris
You know what's
Therien.
crazy funny? You said that. Game 3. All right. I'm on my way to Lee's Hoags to get myself some hoagies for me and my wife.
It's a sausage
And
competition.
I heard Saunders. By the way, Saunders is fucking gold on the radio. And he's got Therien, as they call Bundy, which doesn't really make any sense. And they go to him because there was a puck that went like on somebody's face, and they said, "Oh my God! Like, hey, when did you lose any teeth in your fucking 12-year career?" And Therien said, "You know what, Tim? I've been really lucky. I didn't lose one tooth." And I went, "Wait a second! Like that's a prerequisite for a defenseman. When you spend as much time as you do as a defenseman."
Get the fuck out!
Well, that works too. It's like, how do you not lose a tooth?
I don't know.
How do you at least one? Any hockey player in general. So, are you not playing hard? But we're not going to make this about Bundy. But that actually made me do a little double scratch to the head like a little monkey. You know what I'm saying? It's not a monkey.
Who's your 3? I already told me Scott Hartnell, right?
Yeah.
Definitely
Big
Scott
time.
Hartnell.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Well,
Is that the 3 for the week?
No,
Because I
but
got a 3 for you.
our 3 is actually the exact same. Believe it or not, those are the exact 3 people I don't want to see back here.
You know
either.
why? Because we watch hockey and we love the Flyers.
Coburn, Shen, Hartnell. Goodbye. I mean,
Bye-bye.
obviously, it's a
But here's
given.
the thing: Coburn can be released,
Yes,
and I'm fine with it.
I know this.
Shen needs to be traded for even a pick or something. Just get him out of here, man. And you know what?
I
By the
know.
way, and Luke is really hanging on by a thread. The dude looks like Luke Richardson. Without the fighting prowess, dude.
I'm gonna tell you my 3 untouchables.
Fuck you there, punk.
As far as these are my 3 untouchables.
Like
for the Flyers.
You can't. Okay. All right.
Well, number 1 is
Mason.
Mason.
Done. Can I guess him? Can we have fun here?
Sure.
Simmons.
No.
Ew. All right. Untouchables. Giroux.
No.
Giroux's not untouchable, but
No, he's-
someone else is. That's not named Simmons.
Yeah, that would be correct. Giroux is
I know Voracek's in it.
Voracek is untouchable to me.
So you got 3. It's Mason, Voracek, and Strite.
No.
But he earned his money this year. Who else earned their money? Tell me. Come on. Here you go.
But you told me you want to guess it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go through the whole roster.
Hey, will you shut up?
See? Chip Kelly wants me to shut up. Give you one more. Let's make this sexy.
I'll tell you someone who I was really impressed with.
All right. Is this going to be a shock or no?
Maybe
All right. Atkinson.
Atkinson.
Ew! What?
I really like that kid.
Don't uppy it all up again. Upshaw it all up again.
No.
He looks like him.
No.
He's sexy, you know?
I really like him.
But it doesn't matter.
I think
He's a point per gamer in the AHL. I gotcha.
Okay.
He looks good up here.
so he's a point per game in the NHL. AHL. Does he deserve a full
wait,
season?
He's an untouchable?
Yeah, I think he is.
Untouchable.
Yes.
What kind of shit is that?
Untouchable.
Untouchable.
That you're untouchable for your I don't know.
Amy feel like a piece of shit.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
I think he's untouchable. And I'll tell you another guy who I really like.
That's probably my new drop. Oh, no, wait. What's your top 3, though? You did Mason, Atkinson, and
Mason, Voracek.
Voracek and Atkinson.
And Atkinson.
All right, so number 4. What, are you getting all Gustafson on me?
No.
I'm thinking young now because you're getting all little...
Think young.
All right.
Look,
we don't have time.
real
Let me just
quick.
hit all the drops we have. Is it Chase Utley? No.
No.
What other drops we got?
Diddly poo.
That's not bad.
Well, who are your 3? Give me 3. Hurry up.
My untouchables?
Untouchables.
Well, is it based on what the contracts are or no?
No.
Well, it's Giroux, number 1. You can't trade him. He's going to be a Hart Trophy candidate. I don't care. I don't care that
okay.
he's not. I don't care if
fine.
he's captain or not. You can't touch Giroux.
Okay.
Right. Now, as for because there's so many extracurriculars here. As far as our team's concerned,
I'm not telling you that I'm not saying to you that I want to get rid of Giroux.
I know.
I
You're
don't
not.
think he's
But
untouchable.
I'm also saying so you're basically saying pick 3 people on a team that you would build around, right?
Yes.
If you throw it in the dirt,
Yes.
you have 3 people. All right.
Yes.
Guess what? It's Giroux, and I'm a GM at heart here.
Okay.
So I go 1 at each.
Fine.
Now I will go Giroux, and I will go Mason,
Mm-hmm.
and I will throw out defense because I would probably pick Straight, but he's a little bit too old. So peace bounce, mofo, motherfucker. I'm taking Voracek, and I'm taking Giroux, and I'm taking Mason.
Okay. Fair enough.
No, that's very fair.
That's why I said that. Number
You were
4
correct.
for me. Raffle.
You're drunk.
No, I'm not.
What do you want to take Tomas Hurdle and fucking San Jose too?
Hurdle.
What are you kidding me? You know,
Might as well take Tomas Perez.
I will bet you $50 that Raffle will not be on the Flyers in 2 years. $50 motherfucking dollars.
So 2 years.
But you got to bet me something back.
It would be $50, wouldn't it?
No. You got to bet me somebody else. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not just a one-way player.
Yeah, but you're not. You haven't given me anybody yet who.
All right. So, how about this? So I just named on a Hurdle, right? Hurdle on San Jose.
I'm not doing that.
What a total what? How can you?
A sausage
Yeah, no, we know that,
Well,
but
this is Flyers. This is Philadelphia. This is what we're talking
all
about.
right. So who else in the Flyers do you think would leave after your man, Raffle?
It's not my man. First of all, I would think that Atkinson would have a longer career with the Flyers than Raffle.
You sound like a gay.
I'm not gonna make a $50 bet on 2 fucking scrubs.
I don't think they're scrubs.
Hey, anybody that actually listened to this point, my tongue won't come off the bottom of my mouth, but I'm gonna
done. I
I'm
am
gonna
done
try
after
my
that.
best. No, next week I'm going off on a Donald Sterling thing, and I think you might think that I have something to say.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
But here's what we have. We have a new segment tonight. We're going to call Steve Mix. If you ever listen to the dude, Mark Zumoff, who did Sixers play-by-play, he would always say, when Steve Mix was his guy, he would say, Steve Mix, your thoughts back in the late 90s, 2000s. Now he's got who's the guy that does the shit? Now that you're 4 for 4?
Nothing up 4 for 4.
Yep, dude
I
from
was never 4 for 4.
dude from Temple or whatever, Marco Sanchez. Say it.
Well, fuck you then, Paul.
I don't know. Just saying. You're
Anyway.
4 for 4. Mark Zumoff and the dude from Temple.
What are we doing here?
He won like a ring in San Antonio. Anyway, so now we're doing a new segment called Steve Mix, Your Thoughts. And this is a segment dedicated to the fans, the listeners. And we have our first one. His name is Patrick. And we're going to listen to what he says.
What up?
Fresh. Say goodnight to everybody and say unfortunate goodnight to the Flyers.
I don't want to say anything that you just told me to say.
Do you want to say anything ever?
Nope. Bye.
That was something still. All right, everybody, we're here with one of a friend of a show, one of my best friends personally of all time. We're going to call him Pitter. This is Pat on the line. Say hi, Patrick.
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
We are literally, I don't know, about 8 to 10 minutes past Game 7, the ending of it, and a little bitter taste in our mouth. And I'll give all the credit to Pat here because he goes, I gave him a heads up if you want to be the first guest ever on the show, and he said, you know what, let me just see how I feel here, because out of anybody that I've ever known in my whole life, Pitter definitely is the guy that probably is most equal to my fandom style, if you will, as far as pure and raw emotion. We've always understood each other, not just in sports, mostly in everything in life, but definitely in sports. And would you agree with that?
I think that's pretty accurate, buddy. Pretty accurate.
Yeah. So my man Pat is he works for one of the top 3 television stations in the city. He definitely has his pulse on everything as we go, and sports is definitely one of them. So I guess we'll just start off. I mean, we're coming fresh off Game 7. Just tell me, man. Just talk to me, pal. Tell me what you're feeling.
Oh, dude, I don't even know where to start. It's just, I think you got to look at the series as a whole, where it's in this season as a whole. In my opinion, I don't know how you feel overall, but it's just the inconsistency of the team all year. I
Yep.
mean, it comes down to that. And look, every team, we're both huge hockey guys. Every team has ebbs and flows throughout the year, throughout games, especially playoff games. But I mean, this team just you can't dig yourselves holes and expect to come out of them all the time.
I mean, he can't do it all the time. That's the thing. It's kind of like it's like a drug. They got used to something. What they did was they just dug a hole, and they ended up getting out of it more times than not. So they got used to it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You get this
bad.
identity, and this is the Philadelphia identity. It's these are a comeback team, and they're going to dig themselves out. And they got 11 comeback wins this year. But you know what? When you have 11 comeback wins, it means you're not getting off to good starts in games.
Yeah, it's not a positive stat to have in your book.
And yeah, it's great that you're resilient and you can fight back from being down. But I'd rather you have 5 comeback wins, and you're playing most games with the lead.
Right.
I mean, that's why you don't have as many comeback wins.
People are intimidated by dominance and comeback wins. I don't care how it actually falls as far as wins and losses, but comeback wins don't really fall into the category of dominance, and we don't really show that.
Exactly. And let's go back to this game now. I mean, Mason.
Holy
Christ.
shit!
Christ, that might be, in my recent memory of Flyers playoff game, the best goalie performance that I've seen.
Literally the last 2 games have been quite a playoff goalie performance, and out of overall, like you're saying, some of those caroms and rebounds, and it's like he's got 14 eyes just wrapped around the circumference of his head. He knows where everything's going to be, and that makes me comfortable, moving forward here. But it doesn't do shit for me now.
No, exactly, and at some point, you played a sport, I played sports, not professionally, obviously. Locker room mentality, team
Sure.
mentality. And if I'm Mason after that second period, I feel like I'd go into that locker room and say, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
Yep. And I got new.
This is the last game of the year, and I'm fucking throwing everything out there, and you guys aren't even playing hockey right now.
And what I was saying earlier with Fresh, I mean, you see little things like that really are proving how big of a leader this guy not only is now, and I really don't think that we know now. You look at him; he'll be sitting on the bench during an after period interview with his buck teeth out, saying, "Hey, it feels great to be good," and all that, But inside, he is legitimately a leader, and I don't know if it's really there in the locker room yet. I'm sure it will be after this year because this motherfucker has stepped up unbelievably. But I said this to my wife while we were watching the third period because, and I said it earlier in the podcast. He was banging his stick to get straight back. He's just yelling like, "Get back!" because there's someone on you, and these are weird little things that are kind of reminding me of your and I favorite player of all time. That's number 27, Ronnie Hextall. But and I got news for you. I guarantee you, Mason can throw down. He's got a rage meter up top there, I think. But this is a guy who I think is really going to be a leader moving forward, and it's finally good to know that we might have a goalie for the next, dare I say, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, but I'm not happy with taking that home out of this. I'm not happy with knowing we have a goalie.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be happy. You should not, there's positives to take out of something like this, and there's negatives to take. And a positive obviously makes it. And you hope it's not going to be one of those, like his Calder year, which I don't think it's going to be. He was a young kid that Calder year where he
it's definitely,
back and flounders.
Yep.
I mean, I think he's found a spot here, and I think he's comfortable here, and I think he's going to grow and become even better. But I mean, look, we know coming into the series that Drew had issues with the Rangers.
Yep. Oh, my God.
Your captain's got to step up. And put the captain stuff aside. Your best player has to step up.
I got news for you. He stepped down.
And he didn't.
Nope.
And I'm not saying you got to beat Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky. You got to skate through a whole team, but you got to score an empty net.
Yep.
I mean, that shit can't happen. Look, when I score on that net, I'm not an NHL player. I might put that over the net. I'm not an NHL player with 86 points in the regular season. I'm not an NHL player with ridiculous playoff stats up to this year.
You're not a Hart Trophy finalist?
Against the Rangers. You need to put that puck in. It's on your forehand. You have an open net. And you have a goalie down, and you put it over the freaking net.
That net is yawning, asking for it.
I mean, look, you don't know what's going to happen if he scores that goal. The Rangers might wake up a little earlier and play a better start to that third period, and Atkinson never scores a goal. But
right, I'm right with you on that.
I'll tell you what. You got to put that in the net.
Yeah, and for some guy who's been, and look, he's been making his guarantees, and he's 2-0 this year. With his 1-7 start to the year, we're making the playoffs. Then all of a sudden, we're winning Game 5. We won it, or I'm sorry, was it Game 5? No, we're winning Game 4. We won it, and he's been good with that this year, but it really hasn't come at his expense personally.
No.
I mean, he's just kind of relying on solid play. I'm telling you, I'm you know me, I'm a big proponent of giving the captaincy to a guy who's been through it, like the trenches and the whole nine. Like I wanted Tiemann to have it when we gave it to Claude. And I know, yeah, right. And still to this day, I mean, it almost brought a tear to my eye hearing JJ say, this might be the last shift Kimmo Tiemann takes. I'm like, fuck, man, why you have to bring that up? I totally forgot about that.
And it will be. I mean, it will be unless he either leaves the Flyers or takes a huge pay cut with the Flyers that he does, and it's a shame because
it is.
He's the best Flyers defenseman since probably Desert Hands.
Yeah, that's bar none.
I mean, you have the Pronger year, obviously, but I mean,
well, if he could have extended that more, yeah.
Consistent multi-year defenseman since Desert Hands. I would argue he's better than Desert Hands.
I would too, as far as his when it comes to his prime. I mean, overall, as far as a Flyer, his term with the Flyers, I think Desjardins maybe takes it as far as, I don't know, just solid throughout, but he couldn't hit a fucking net. Tiemann and throws it, and I'll address this. I probably have already in the podcast. I mean, this is taped taped prior, so. But I have something to say to Fresh about something with defensemen that we'll get to. But I need to know from you, as one of the best hockey minds that I know personally, who do you think out of this series, if you're going to give like a way to go, man, good job, who's your best performers of the series? Maybe one or two for the orange and black.
No position required.
Just in general.
Big forecheck.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
And I've been saying all year that this kid's going to be a stud. I even said it going back to the first year we picked him up. Just the way, I mean, his legs don't stop moving. And that's an asset a lot of people don't notice in hockey players where some guys don't need to do it. Some guys are just talented enough where they can skate and they find the spots. But, I mean, this kid keeps his legs moving all the time, and he's always putting forth effort, and he has talent.
He's a beast.
Now, he scored 2 goals and 2 assists in this series. He didn't have much help, but
Yeah, but he was
Always around the
noticeably.
puck.
Yeah, he was noticeably around the puck. He was noticeably just killing it all over. Now on the other end, how about who didn't step up besides the C? Let's get Claude out of here.
I got a list.
Go for it. They might have been hinted on already, but let's just do it again because this is a new segment that we have. It's called Steve Mix. Your thoughts. Go for it, Petter.
Listen, I don't know if you know who my most hated Flyer has been all year.
If you don't know, now you know, person.
Braden Shen.
I
mean, if there was ever a time for you to prove me wrong, that I think you're just absolute waste of talent. it
Pile
was
of
the
shit.
series, and he did the opposite.
Yep.
I mean, look, you're a young kid. He's what is he? 22, maybe. He's pushing 23.
He barely had a fucking beer.
Young kid, just realize what player you are right now, and don't try to be the player everyone says you're going to be.
You know what screwed him up? You know what screwed him up, Petter? Was that Hockey News magazine that said, basically, the next Gretzky with a question mark after.
No, obviously not.
I mean, it could be the next Gretzky, like Butler.
Yeah. I mean, look, listen, there's so many things about his game, and I've talked to other people, and like our buddy Mike McCashy, great hockey mind, and like we've discussed, like, and it's not, and I don't mean to pick on the guy, but I literally every time he's out there, it's come to the point where I see something he does wrong, and I'm probably because I got a spotlight on him, but even without the puck, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, where are you going? Earlier in the game today, the puck's down low. He's got to be either going to the slot or going to be the guy on one of the boards to give support, and he's floating around the blue line. What are you doing there?
Looking for some blonde broad in the fucking audience.
Get your head in the game. It's Game 7, dude. Get your head in the fucking game.
If you, what else do you need? You know, the two best words in sports right there, and he's floating around like a fucking fairy. That dude needs a good ass kicking, and guess what? I don't think Claude's going to be the one to do it, but you know what?
Oh.
Chemo might. You just played your last fucking game after arguably not a Hall of Fame career, but arguably a Hall of Fame career for.
Hall of Famer.
Well, I mean, but I'm saying for like the you know how we got the Phillies got their Hall of Fame, Flyers got their Hall of Fame. I mean, that's a Hall of Fame for that. I'd put Tiemann in that in a heartbeat.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
So I mean, that dude just played his last game, and you got some dude fucking playing backgammon at center ice like a jitbag.
All right, I'll do one. You do one. Who's your guy? Who's your guy that didn't show up?
The guy who didn't show up. When I think didn't show up, I mean literally. I don't know if I saw him. Besides making, well, you know what? No, I see. Petter, we're talking. I have so many, and I probably already covered a lot of them. But you know, never hurts to go back over them. My number one that comes to mind is fart smell. Okay, Scotty Hartnell didn't even. I don't remember seeing him, and the only times I saw him, he wasn't really playing hockey. Like he was playing, like with his friends. I don't know how to explain it. He wasn't really. He wasn't doing his job. He wasn't getting.
He was playing 4-on-4 roller hockey, arena league hockey.
Yes, he was playing on a tennis court like we used to. You know, you'd had 3 tennis courts. You play on the one side of them, and you know, you kind of do an outlet pass, or you would expect a pass too. And if you didn't get it, you kind of just kind of chill. You just kind of roll around and just enjoy the fucking 65-degree day in May because you've been waiting for forever to play hockey again. That's what he was doing on ice, getting paid $6 million a fucking year to do. That's my numero uno.
And you just nailed it. I mean, yeah, I hate bringing money into it is never a huge thing for me. I'm not paying the guys the money. He's not a $6 million player ever.
No, I think he's getting like 4 or 5 or 5, but still, it's ridiculous. He's making 5 times the money I am.
Yeah. To do what?
Yeah. To beat it on the ice. Literally, more people would show up.
5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Snacks.
All right. Well, I got one last question for you.
What is it?
Well, you know what? You got some venom in you, and I know you do. I'm gonna hold off my last question. I just need to hear more venom. I know you have something else to say. I can feel it. I can.
That Hartnell?
No, just about the Flyers. I know you have it.
Oh, dude, what is there to say? It's just the same thing every year.
I know.
And before this game, I got to try to think back to 2 days ago because this series was such a. Look, the Rangers didn't play well either, which is even more frustrating.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the Penguins are scared either way. I mean, because they realize that some teams. I mean, I'm sorry, I said the wrong word. The Penguins are probably licking their chops right now because the Rangers won, playing like shit against us. Now they would have been scared if we would have won because we just own them.
Yeah.
But now they have a Rangers team that played almost as sloppy as we did and got away with it. So now they're ready to rock and roll, and that fucking kills me.
And look, I like what Berube did this year. I like it. I think he's. I hate the guys that are sitting there going, "We got a goon as a coach." Look, you don't have to be a great player to be a great coach,
Right?
And you don't have to be. Some great players who tried to be coaches obviously didn't work. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, he couldn't do it because how can you coach people when you're the best player of all time? It doesn't work.
Be me. That's not going to work.
But yeah, I mean, Berube, he does some good things and some bad things, and I don't know if it's a head coach or a captain issue. But your team, when they don't come out to play every day, there's an issue somewhere, and there's got to be a change. And I'm not saying trade Giroux, and I'm not saying fire Berube, but something has to happen because you can't keep coming out and one game being completely dominant.
Yep.
And the next game falling back into the same old habits you fell back into 2 games ago. And some of that has to do with the other team making adjustments. But, I mean, it shouldn't be so night and day. It shouldn't be, wow, we were all over them one game and then complete opposite the next game.
Oh, yeah, and I got news for you, too. I wasn't giving Berube that long of a leash whatsoever. Because I was thinking in that mentality. I mean, what are we doing? Bringing the chief on board. We're bringing Berube back. I'm thinking Craig Ramsey. I'm thinking Bill Barber. I'm just going through the whole Rolodex or whatever. And you know what? He impressed the shit out of me this year, except for the fact that for someone who was a goon and a fighter and an intimidator, I have a feeling like he's not really intimidating who needs to be intimidated on the team to show up. So it's weird. It's a conundrum. I don't understand what's going on. But I'm willing to let him rock and roll, to be honest with you. He proved his worth to me. I've never been a proponent of putting the C on any young player. I don't care how good they are. I never liked Ovechkin having a captaincy. I never liked Stamkos having a captaincy. I never liked, obviously, Crosby, because I don't care. But, Crosby, you watch a pussy play hockey and you put a C on it. That makes it a CUNT next Tuesday, person.
Well, let's look back on that and look at the Flyers' history of this. And it goes back a while. And I think it's not just the Flyers; it's a lot of teams. And I actually had this conversation the other day where the Flyers, and I think it's because of Bobby Clark, and it goes back to that. Bobby Clark was their best player, and he was their captain, and it worked.
And a GM for a while.
And since then, it's like everyone needs to be best player needs to be the captain.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
They're the best captain they named. In my opinion.
Oh, no, wait. Let me guess.
Good guess. It wasn't Pronger, I'll give you that.
Jason Smith.
Yes. Jason Smith was the best captain they named.
I agree. And you know what's crazy about that, too? Because normally the Bobby Clark rule is not only the best player gets the captaincy, but someone with tenure. We got Jason Smith, and we said, you're the captain, pal. And you know what he did? Ruled shit.
Yeah, he played with 2 fucking separated shoulders in the playoffs.
God.
And didn't play very well, but he was fucking out there. And no one knew about his 2 separated shoulders until the fucking series was over.
And let's let it be known for the court, all right, for the jury here, that we did not have a pre-conversation here. That was all legit.
Oh, yeah. Well, we just said before we started that we have similar thoughts on this kind of stuff.
Mi casa su. So, yeah, big time. All right, I'm going to get to my last question. You ready to rock?
Let's do it.
One change Pitter would make during this offseason. One change. You got to narrow it down to one. What's your biggest change that you would do for this team? And I hate saying the offseason right now because we're coming off an hour away from the game, or not even, but one change you got to make. What would it be?
One change?
And you got to narrow it down because I know you got a whole Rolodex of changes in your head.
I trade Braden Chen. And I get whatever you can get with him, whether it's a young defenseman, whether it's picks. I don't see. I mean, you know what? He could go on and be a guy that scores 25, 30 goals somewhere. It's not going to be here.
What's the level of importance to Braden Chen for you in a trade? I'm trying to think of names in the league. Like if we could trade.
Like that.
Go ahead.
I don't think you're going to get a big return. I just think you need him off here.
See, I think you would because they're looking at a 20 goal scorer, a 50-point
Oh,
scorer,
yeah, I do forget he had 20 goals.
and but we need we need defense because I might have said
Well,
it.
obviously, because you're going to lose your best defenseman. And anyone who says he's not our best defenseman is fucking crazy. Because
They
he
can
still
suck
is.
my balls.
He's still the best defenseman. He's lost a step or two, and he's had some moments where he wouldn't have had 5 years ago. But
He played great tonight, and he
Yeah,
played
he
great
did.
in most games this season. Or
he
I'm
played like
sorry,
it was
this
the last
series.
game of his career because of Bob Lewis. He
Yeah,
played like
You know what? And if only everyone could play like Allen Iverson. Thank you very much. That is Patrick, aka one of my best friends, Pitter. And this concludes the first ever Steve Mix. Your thoughts, Pitter? Thank you so very much.
all right, buddy.
I love you.
Anytime you need me, I'm here.
Giddy up.